All right, fellas, welcome back to Random City Sports Ballers. It's one of my favorite days ever. It's another draft day, but this one is what we call my home league, all right? We do draft on Yahoo because there are some folks scattered across the United States. But this is a league where I'm telling you the scoring is different. There's no points for a reception, not even a half a PPR. But let's take a look at some of these differences here, okay? We only have 5 on the bench instead of 6. All right, we still have a single flex position, 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and a quarterback. So wide receivers have already been devalued. All right, now for the quarterback, take a look. It's 40 yards for a point, so that's different than Yahoo's default, but it's 6 points for a touchdown, whereas it's normally just 4. So those points kind of offset, and it makes it where, okay, quarterbacks are about the same as they were, but, running quarterbacks, not really a huge advantage for a running quarterback based on those touchdowns. But rushing yards, you get 10 yards for 1 point, 6 for a touchdown. Receiving yards, 10 yards for a point, 6 for a touchdown. Return yards, you ready for this? If you got a guy who's returning kicks, you're going to get 30 yards per point. All right. Now, that doesn't come into play very often, okay? It's not going to come into play. The interceptions are -2 instead of -1. So if you got a quarterback who throws interceptions, it's going to hurt a little more. Fumbles are -2 points. 2-point conversions, offensive fumble returns, blah, blah. In this one, kickers can get negative points based on the distance of the missed field goal. You can get -3 all the way up to 40 yards, and then it's -2 up to 50, and then -1 beyond 50. If you miss an extra point, it's -2 points. All right, and for defense, here's some interesting stuff, okay? Sacks are worth 2 points instead of 1. Interceptions are worth 2 points. Fumble recoveries are worth 2 points. Touchdown is worth 6, obviously. Safety, for some reason, we made it 3 instead of 2. Blocking a kick is worth 2 points. The touchdowns are worth 6, and then you get your points allowed. If you allow 0, you get 6, and it's a graduated scale all the way until you get to 28 points, and then you start losing points. So you picking up what I'm putting down here? Also on defense, yardage. Nobody gets negative yards allowed. Okay, so these points here don't really often come into play, but these negative points do. If you got a defense that's allowing some huge yards out there, you start losing points. So that's our scoring system for my home league, all right? And here's what's going to happen in this draft. People perceive that quarterbacks are overvalued in this league, which they're not really. They're really not. Believe it or not, a running back. You want your running backs. You don't need to worry about receptions, but running backs are still the dominant force in this league. In fact, if we take a look at last year's results, Connecticut Patriots finished in first place. You want to see what their team had? Let's take a look at who they had. They had Russell Wilson at quarterback late in the season and Aaron Rodgers. So don't tell me quarterbacks are valued here. They had Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry. Okay. When we look at the draft by their team, they were the 12th overall pick. They got Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Devontae Adams. They took Anthony Richardson, but didn't matter. Zay Flowers, George Kittle, Chris Godwin, Justin Herbert, a second quarterback right there. Trey Benson, Cleveland, Christian Watson, and then, the end of the draft. We know how that always tends to play out. And look, I'm telling you, this is a different kind of league. I don't know why some of the people in this league believe that quarterbacks are just so important. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Jalen Hurts were the first 3 picks. None of them made the playoffs. This one here didn't make the playoffs. Christian McCaffrey was their pick. Now, that's tragic, Prolate Spheroid did make the playoffs. They had CeeDee Lamb as their first overall pick. Then Lamar Jackson, she did make the playoffs, but She came back with Kyron Williams and Josh Jacobs. So like I said, running backs, man, seriously, running backs in this league. That's the thing about this CeeDee Lamb. His second pick was Jahmyr Gibbs, so another good pick. Tyreek Hill, they did not make the playoffs. I made the playoffs, but I had Breece Hall in my first pick. Ouch. CJ Stroud in the first round. Yeah, this guy here, Reston Raiders, made the playoffs. Bijan Robinson, and then Garrett Wilson and Marvin Harrison for his first 3 picks. This one did not make the playoffs. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamar Chase, and Cooper Kupp. Look, receivers. Okay, well, we don't need to talk about Kupp. We know what happened with Kupp. But, I mean, what I'm trying to get to here is in this league, you're going to see an interesting draft where folks are taking quarterbacks early, and they don't need to. It's not to your benefit. What you really need to focus on is those early running backs. So you're going to see a lot of folks who do not focus on that, and, well, you'll see me trying to stay focused on it because, well, that's just the way this league is. All right, I am the 6th pick, and the draft starts in 6.5 minutes. So let's skip ahead and get to that point.
Welcome to the heart of the draft, right in the middle of the first round. Now, you might be feeling a little claustrophobic if you have the 6th pick, but I am here to ease your fears because if I'm not picking at the very top or the very bottom of the round, this is where I want to be, in the middle. I consider the 6th pick to be the captain seat in any draft. You have your hands on the wheel. You can direct this ship wherever you want it to go. No one is going to surprise you with a big run at a specific position. There's just not enough time between picks for you to get caught off guard. Instead, you can see those trends developing and either get in on them early before a position just drops off a cliff entirely, or you can choose when it's time to actually fire things up and be the first one to start those runs. Maybe that means you try to take a quarterback or a tight end early. It's just a suggestion. I will leave that decision up to you. Either way, you are the captain now, so act like it and let's set a course for the fantasy playoffs.
Yes, I'm the captain now. I'm the captain. Yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, none of those guys that he was like suggesting there are guys that I'm going to be taking. You notice he had a bunch of receivers. That's for different leagues, fellas. We don't have any points per reception here. Doesn't do you any good to try to get a receiver early. So, like I said, this is a different league. Yeah, we'll get underway in a minute and a half. Good luck to all of us in the draft. Here we go. First, with the over-up prolate spheroid, we'll be taking a quarterback. Watch this. Actually, you know, all right, Bijan Robinson. See, that's a good pick right here. I'm surprised. There's going to be plenty of folks who want to go out there and get that quarterback, though. And Lamar Jackson went number 2 to AI Fish. It's a good pick for this league or any league. But where there's no points per reception, he's coming at the quarterback early. He genuinely is looking to build points. Now, that's going to be a fine pick. Last season, the same person took Patrick Mahomes. As you know, that didn't work out quite as well. There goes Jamar Chase with number 3. And Josh Allen, number 4. And, well, let's see how it goes for number 5. And then it's me, fellas. Who am I taking? Boy, if they leave me Jahmyr Gibbs, I'll be happy. That's a fine player for this league. So, let's see. But yeah, Josh Allen. There goes Jalen Hurts. Yeah, good. I'll take Jahmyr Gibbs. We'll just make that quick. Look, in this league, Jahmyr Gibbs finished last year as far as running back points go. I believe he finished 4th. Saquon Barkley goes 7th. That's fine. And Patrick Mahomes goes number 8. I don't know. They overvalue the quarterbacks here. Connecticut Patriots. This is last year's champion. And, you know, I got to say, he's probably looking at Derrick Henry. Yep, Derrick Henry. Because that's who helped bring him to a championship last year was Derrick Henry. And in this position, it's either that or one of these receivers. Look, your first overall pick, you need the points. And Derrick Henry, again, was a top 5 point getter. There goes CeeDee Lamb with the 10th pick. An interesting pick. Now, something about Dallas. They just traded Micah Parsons off to Green Bay. There goes Christian McCaffrey with number 11. So Green Bay is out here about to be a far improved team. And man, that's dangerous. Joe Burrow goes with number 12. And they've now rated the quarterbacks. Let's see what's left. Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Rockburn. Yeah, they rated the quarterbacks. So, yeah. We'll see how the rest of this draft goes. You get your back-to-back pick here, the purring powerhouse. Meow. Back-to-back Joe Burrow, and if it's me, I'm probably taking Josh Jacobs or Ashton Genty. If it's purring powerhouse, they're taking Nico Collins. Again, there's no points per reception here, and you only have to take 2 wide receivers, so I'm not valuing wide receivers as high as some of these other folks are. But, you got to know the league rules. Understand the rules of the league you are in. It's going to help you a lot, and it's going to make you a better player in your league if you understand the rules that you have to play by. Now you CeeDee, now you don't. Well, that's absolutely... Now you CeeDee, now you don't. I like that name. Bet he wishes he had got CeeDee Lamb. Or she. I have no idea who's on the other end of that. And there we go. Jaden Daniels, 14th. All right. That's the last of the quarterbacks that should go this early. The rest of them should hang around. And, fellas, I've got options at quarterback here. Lots of options. Any other league, I could just sit here looking at Jared Goff. Wait around for a while. Ashton Genty with 15th. Puka Nacua with 16th. Travis Kelce, 17th. Ouch. We're leaving me some running backs, fellas? Yeah, we're leaving me some running backs. Okie doke. Baker Mayfield, 18th. All right, we've got some receivers here I could think about, but nothing is going to match what some of these running backs are going to be able to put up, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a Josh Jacobs with this next pick. And then I'll watch these other fellas, some of them who took these quarterbacks early as they scramble to try to catch some running backs. And then on the way back, I'll be able to grab one of these top receivers. Jonathan Taylor. Scramble for those running backs, fellas. Tony Pollard. All right, hey, whatever. You got you playing the homer game there. I got my 2 solid running backs, Jahmyr Gibbs, Josh Jacobs. They have a different bye week, so I'm happy with that. If you've watched some of my other drafts, you kind of know. There goes Bucky Irving. You kind of know in my other drafts, I had 1 or 2 where I made a mistake on my bye weeks. Where running back is going to be hurting on a bye week. But this Bucky Irving with 22nd, I think that's a good pick. Keep scrambling for running backs, fellas. I want to grab one of these receivers. Scramble. And AI Fish started out with... he started out with Lamar Jackson. That's a fine pick. What will he go to? He loves Devin Achane. I could see him taking Achane if Achane wasn't suffering from that injury right now. So he went Kyron Williams. Scramble. Prolate Spheroid started out with a running back, so he's probably going to take one of these receivers and a running back. With no points per reception, it changes it for you guys. I mean, you still need good receivers, but they're not on par with some of the running backs. These top running backs are going to outscore them enough points that know your league rules. That's the number one rule to drafting. Draft your league. These average draft positions, they go out the window in a league like this. You don't bother with looking at that. You've got to know who are the scorers. And this could happen in your home league. You know, who are the people that are going to score? You want points. Chase Brown with number 24. So he's got 2 running backs. Now he'll take one of these receivers. Which one does he take? If it's me, I'm definitely taking Justin Jefferson there. I mean, you know, we get it. Hamstring, it's an issue. Where's the news? There's no news for him. I mean, McCarthy struggles though. Guys, we know that Justin Jefferson is a world-class athlete. He is one of the best wide receivers in the league in the last decade. He is top-notch receiver. But if J.J. McCarthy struggles, fellas, if he struggles, ouch. Now, also, this league, we give 2 minutes per pick, so sometimes I'm just going to skip ahead. You'll see it skip because, you know, there's not much going on. Like this one, he's already gone over a minute for his second pick. And there's going to be times like that where I'm just sitting here personally. I might take a nap or something during some of these long periods. So I might actually skip ahead right now. He took James Cook. He's got himself 3 solid running backs. And there goes Achane. See, that's that guy that I told you. He really likes Achane. So he got Kyron Williams and Achane. Like I said, this is one of those moments where there's so many to choose from, but the running backs are going to be here. Let's look at running backs. By now, it's looking sparse. Look at that. It's looking sparse, fellas. You know, I mean, it's not looking great. Wide receivers are looking amazing. Quarterbacks are looking thin. So it's all a game of patience at this point. Who can you wait for? Who's going to have the most patience to wait for a quarterback? Takes a lot of patience. But yeah, you got to be bouncing around and what you're doing. You got to be fluid. There goes Justin Jefferson finally. Keeps me from having to think about him. There goes Drake London. And why are we projecting Amon-Ra St. Brown to have a down year and we're projecting Malik Neighbors to have an up year? I don't understand, fellas. Let me have Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'll be happy. I stumbled into Brock Bowers last season near the end of the draft. That was nice. There's Trey McBride, too. With no points per reception. All right, we're going to take Amon-Ra St. Brown. Look at me making it quick for everybody. There goes Malik Neighbors right after that. Malik Neighbors. He could have a better year. And now I can look for a second wide receiver. I can look at the backup running back at the flex position. I could look at quarterback, but I could also have patience. There goes Bo Nix with number 33, another quarterback off the board. Yeah, who's going to have the patience? Who can wait this out? Here, if we look at tight ends, since there's no points per reception, Sam Laporta last year scored 114. Hawkinson didn't do nothing. We know that. Mark Andrews had all those touchdowns. Tucker Kraft, Evan Ingram, Njoku was out for a bit. Ferguson. We got Bowers had 150. McBride had 138. Kittle had 158. I mean, with no points per reception, it changes this whole equation on tight ends. And let's see, at wide receiver, we still got plenty of things to pick from. Last season, Brian Thomas had almost 200 points. Lad McConkey, T. Higgins, Mike Evans. You know, go back to all players and just have us a look. Who's available here? We got Kenneth Walker. Not excited because he'll get injured. Evan Kamara always does well, but he's older. There goes Brian Thomas. James Conner always does well. Devontae Adams had an okay season. There goes Mike Evans. So folks are playing it basically the way they... Oh, let's see what's the news on A.J. Brown. Hey, he's practicing. Woohoo. But, you know, I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm happy with what I've got. You know, Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown. There goes James Conner. And I got Josh Jacobs as my second running back. I'm happy with my start. I'm very happy. It's a 12-team league, so it's not real deep, though, fellas. It's a 12-team league. There goes Kenneth Walker. We got some folks that are still scrambling for running backs. Still scrambling to get those. Now you see, now you don't. Who you taking, feller? It feels like forever to get back to me. I'm 6th pick, I know, but in a 12-team league, that is so many more draft picks. You know, that's 4 more draft picks to get back to me than it is in a 10-team league. So it feels like a little more of a... And Tyreek Hill. Okay. But it feels like it's a little more of an eternity. You know? Just feels like a long wait. There goes Brock Bowers finally. Someone taking a tight end in round 4. Isaiah Pacheco went 40th overall. Lad McConkey went 41st. What have you left at running back? See, I don't hate Kamara. There goes Xavier Worthy with 42. Kamara. Made it through the preseason without playing in any games. Yeah. So, all right. We got to figure out who among these running backs is my guy. Although, wide receivers, I still have some sweet spots at wide receiver sitting right here in front of me. Things will get back to me pretty quickly. Let's take a look at who these guys have. No wide receivers. Mermaiden has Drake London. Take Me to a Title has 2 receivers. AI Fish has no receivers. And Prolate Spheroid has no receivers. So, what I've got to do then... that's a tough one. Who among these fellas could have an up year? Terry McLaurin decided he would go ahead on. All right. So let's take a look at running backs. I've been rather quick through this whole thing. I'm going to go ahead and take Alvin Kamara right here. We'll get that back up. And then I think that I'm going to get a pretty good receiver coming back to me. Marvin Harrison went out. And there goes Breece Hall. You know, Breece Hall, that's fine. I just like Braylon Allen, but I don't even have a clue who's going to get the nod there. I don't think any of us really know what's happening with the Jets. Will Justin Fields be running the ball so much that the running backs don't matter? I don't know. They get to focus on the run when they're playing against the Jets now. And that's a nightmare for Justin Fields and everybody. But let's see if we can get some of these receivers back to me. I got one great one. I'd love to get another great one. Love to get another great one. But yeah, A.J. Brown, fellas. He should be back. An injured meniscus, you know. What'd they do? Scrape it? Okay, there goes Trey McBride. You know, I've had an injured meniscus before. It hurts like hell. I mean, it hurts. A little ibuprofen can take some of the edge off, but... So, the meniscus. Do we all know what a meniscus is? Hey, let's go do story time. Let's get the meniscus up here. It's a part of your knee, and it's not really one of the ligaments. The meniscus, let's see if we can bring up this image. The meniscus is this cartilage area, okay? It's the cartilage area around the knee, all right? Very important part of your knee, but it's not one of the ligaments. It's just more important for, it's the cartilage between the femur and tibia. You know, quickly turning or foot planted while the knee is bent, blah, blah, blah. But anyhow, A.J. Brown went 47th. A.J. Brown. Guess who ain't on my team? A.J. Brown. No, that's fine, because I actually am excited about the idea of taking a Terry McLaurin. I really am right here. You know, I got to fill in DK Metcalf. So sorry. George Pickens doesn't do much. Zay Flowers had a fine year for what he is. There goes McLaurin. I said it out loud, and dang you there, prolate spheroid. You shouldn't have been listening. Let me have my guy next time, dude. Well, DJ Moore, he'll have an improved season. Jameson Williams will have an improved season, but I don't want to have two Detroit wide receivers. Cortland Sutton. Now there's a guy. How about Calvin Ridley? Travis Hunter? What else we got here? I don't want Olave. Yeah, now we're starting to go a little too deep. I don't know that I want T. Higgins, Smith and Jigba, I don't know, Garrett Wilson. You know, you got Justin Fields throwing to you. Devontae Adams will be in, there goes Smith and Jigba, the 49th. Devontae Adams, you know, he's in L.A. now. Puka could be the focus there. Devonta Smith is the number 2 guy. Jalen Waddle, if you go by last year or any of his other years, he's not worth that pick. You know, so, I mean... What's wrong with taking a Cortland Sutton? How long is it till it gets back to me after that? Takes a minute. Takes a minute. So let's see who gets on back to me. It takes so many picks. So many picks. What else is available at running back for these fellas? You know, for me, this would be bench running backs. We know what's going on at wide receiver. We've been looking. Quarterbacks, there's plenty of things going on still. No reason to rush on a quarterback. Tight ends, you still have Kittle, Laporta. Other than that, I don't think I'd be interested. So, let's just see how they draft here. AI Fish. AI Fish needs a receiver. He needs another receiver. You know, he got... let's see, he took Travion Henderson, another running back. All right. He took another running back, and that's fine. He took the rookie out of New England. A lot of good things being said about him. I personally... a running back in the 5th round that's a rookie, Yeah, maybe. In a 12 team, yeah, I could see that, especially with as thin as running back is getting right now. Running back is getting very, very thin. So, take me to a title. This is such a weird league. The point scoring. There goes R.J. Harvey. Yeah, we're scrambling. There goes George Pickens, and we're scrambling for those running backs. Scrambling, taking rookies when we've still got, I don't know, we've got the Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason connection that someone could play. And that leaves me to take George Kittle. Let's just go ahead and get one of the top tight ends. There we go. After that went DeAndre Swift, David Montgomery, and David Montgomery. I like David Montgomery, and sometimes I'll do there goes Devontae Adams. Sometimes I'll do a David Montgomery plus Jahmyr Gibbs thing. I haven't done that this year, I don't believe. Because one, Jahmyr Gibbs is so hard to get. You have to be a top 4 pick just to have a chance at him in most leagues. And so then you've got to devote another running back to having the same bye week. But there's something nice about getting all of Detroit's running touchdowns, which is a lot. We're talking 25 touchdowns. That's a lot. Split that between 2 players, they average 12 apiece. That's doing pretty good. That's doing all right, as a matter of fact. But yeah, I'm fairly certain my next one is going to be a receiver, and it's likely to be Courtland Sutton if he gets back to me. In this non-PPR, not even a half PPR. Taking Caleb Johnson with the 58th pick. So that is the 3rd rookie running back to go in this round. And there went Jaylen Warren. See, that's what's going to sting. If you have Jaylen Warren and Caleb Johnson, one of them is going to be the starter. We don't know exactly what's going to happen with those two right now, but to my knowledge, Jaylen Warren is the starter. So taking Caleb Johnson, a little risky unless you're taking Jaylen Warren as also. There goes Garrett Wilson with the 60th pick to the Purring Powerhouse. You got them back to back. What you gonna do? I'm a little torn between DJ Moore and Courtland Sutton. My next 2 picks might be devoted to wide receiver because I only have the one. And there's some good options here. There's some folks I would take. And then we're going to get into that. Shoo, running backs will be gone completely soon, fellas. And Devonta Smith, DK Metcalf. I don't know. He's gone to Pittsburgh. Is he going to be that much better? I don't think that's an improvement. I think that's a lateral move at best. But in the 6th round, taking DK Metcalf in a 12-team league, I'm not gonna criticize that. Absolutely not. That's impossible to criticize. I like the way my team's turning out so far, though. Only 5 bench players. There goes Aaron Jones, Sam Laporta. Detroit, man. His rookie season, he came out. I thought he was just going to be just a dynamo for the rest of his career. No, all of a sudden, Sam Laporta became better than average, but that's the nature of some of these rookies, I worried the same thing might happen to Brock Bowers. Wouldn't that be a shame? We're heading for Venus. It's the final countdown. Taking a kicker in the... Okay, well, now we're just getting silly. So I'm going to take Courtland Sutton. Taking a kicker. Fellas. All right, so my next one, I really am thinking that I need a third wide receiver, but my bye weeks are lining up nicely here. We got Brock Purdy. Who was before that? Mark Andrews. So we're Mermaiden. Is that her second quarterback? Yep, that's his second quarterback. You can only play one quarterback, fellas. You need other positions right now. You can only play one quarterback. And there goes Tyrone Tracy. Where are we at on running backs? Jordan Mason, Braylon Allen, Tank Bigsby. Yeah, it's getting slim pickings out there, fellas. It's getting skinny. But I'm not into my bench yet. I've got my starters. We're only 6 rounds in. Fish. Come on, what you got, my friend? I want to take a look at his team, what he's putting together this year. No, this is a pretty good team. This is a pretty good team. Yeah, he'll be happy with this. Probably looking at a wide receiver. You know, he won't start his bench yet, I don't think. There's no reason to start your bench yet. You know, fill out everything. You could even leave tight end, defense, and kicker and fill out your bench, but you definitely want to have almost all the rest of your starters done. You know, you might, if you've got a play at quarterback that you're waiting to make, you might be able to do that. But I don't know. It's risky. There goes Jameson Williams. And now we're back to the back-to-back on Prolate Spheroid, who has put together a pretty solid team as well. He took Jared Goff. He's got McLaurin and Jigba, Robinson and Brown, and Cook. It's a solid team. It's a solid team, fellas. What are they leaving at quarterback still? There's Kyler Murray, who didn't do great last year. There goes Rashee Rice, Drake May, Caleb Williams, and Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, J.J. McCarthy, C.J. Stroud, Trevor Lawrence, Bryce Young, Michael Penix, Geno Smith, Matt Stafford, Tua, Cam Ward, Aaron Rodgers, Sam Darnold. Boy, that was a surprise. Now he's in Seattle. I don't know how that's going to go. There goes Kyler Murray. They're taking backup quarterbacks. Chris Olave, Tyler Warren, and Deebo Samuel. All right, so Jerry Jeudy last year, since there were no points per reception, he only scored 150 on his 1,200 yards. Let's see, Jacoby Myers, Stephon Diggs, Jordan Mason, Emeka Egbuka. I don't know. I'm still liking DJ Moore and Calvin Ridley. I got plenty of time in this draft. Running backs. You know, I mean, we could be talking about Jordan Mason. Other than that, these are all weight on them guys. Quarterbacks, you got Dak Prescott, Justin Fields. Why Justin Fields? Why is he predicted to have 252 points? Caleb Williams will have an improved season. Justin Herbert will have the same season. We look at all players, and I really think I want to take DJ Moore. And then we've got our first bench player is a wide receiver. There goes Jake Ferguson, Dallas tight end, 79th right after that. DJ Moore, my first bench player. How many more bench quarterbacks are these folks taking? I don't know. There goes another kicker born to punt this time. Denver's defense going 81st. You know, I'm looking at Green Bay's defense all of a sudden. Seriously. Green Bay in this league format last season had 154 points. And they just added Micah Parsons. I'm going to cue them. There goes, I don't know how to pronounce that first name, but McMillan, 82nd, and then Philadelphia, another defense win after that. Pittsburgh last year had a good one. Baltimore, Minnesota did awesome. Kansas City, Detroit will get Aiden Hutchinson back. Chargers, Houston, Buffalo, New York. You know, but Green Bay, you know, with Micah Parsons heading there, they're going to improve. I don't know if a lot of people know about that move, so I can wait on a Green Bay. I can wait forever on Green Bay. All right, my next pick coming in like 8 picks, 7 until my turn. We got the back-to-back at the Purring Powerhouse. It takes Jalen Waddle. Taking Jalen Waddle, and let's take a look at your team. Still needs a tight end, but I don't think there's any reason for them to go for a tight end right now, so they're filling out their bench. So they could take just about anybody. Being honest, they've got 4 receivers already. It might be a good idea for them to scout for a tight end. Who's here for tight end for you? Tucker Kraft maybe. Evan Ingram went. There's a lot of options. There's not a lot of options. But they waited on tight end, and that's fine. They're taking a kicker instead. Going ahead and taking a kicker. I'm tempted to take either running back or receiver, and I don't know who that could be because Jordan Mason is right here. Braylon Allen is also a good choice. J.K. Dobbins, I'm sorry guys, he's the starter. Unless he gets injured, he's the starter. So taking R.J. Harvey early is not a move that I'm looking to make. But Jordan Mason, you know, he'll have that job if there's an injury. But with J.K. Dobbins, he has that job. Injury or otherwise, you know, if he gets injured, yeah. But he's the starter right now. So I don't know how Denver plans to utilize their guys. I don't have a clue. But, fellas, this draft can be stressful, but it's so much fun. You gotta get in a draft where it's not Yahoo standard rules. Get out there. Here goes Travis Hunter. Get out there into a home league where someone is being creative with the rules. It's just fun. So I only have 3 wide receivers right now. A 4th is not a bad idea, but I also only have 3 running backs. A 4th on either one is a fine idea. I got Sutton and I'm on Ross St. Brown, so I'm happy there. Matthew Golden, rookie wide receiver. That's a text message in the middle of mid-draft. It's someone. Okay, we've got a chat happening in the draft, and this one is wow, nightmare draft. You guys are good. And I'm sitting here, yeah, there goes Jordan Mason, and it's like, yeah, well, this isn't a standard Yahoo group, fellas. All right. I've got to do the J.K. Dobbins thing because, look, he's the starter. We're doing J.K. Dobbins. We're going to have our 4th running back now. And I'll get my 4th wide receiver soon. Dobbins is a 12th week bye, which doesn't interfere with anything. No interference. I've got my buys are all great. So, there goes Chase McLaughlin, Tampa Bay's kicker. Whatever. Who went before that? Justin Herbert. Then went Jacoby Myers. Wait, who took Justin Herbert? Not him. Oh, there went Jerry Jeudy. Justin Herbert went to a team that has Jalen Hurts. Why are you doing that? You can only play one quarterback, fellas. Went through this last year with him. Let's see what's available at quarterback still. All right, well, maybe I'll go ahead and take my guy here in a minute. I like an improved Caleb Williams. Dak Prescott will be hurt. Drake May, Justin Fields, Caleb Williams, Jordan Love will improve. CJ Stroud, I don't know if there'll be any improvement in him. Trevor Lawrence, just injuries. Bryce Young, we've been through this. So, yeah, I guess it's time that I need to go ahead and take a quarterback, I suppose. Calvin Ridley sitting right there looking at me, though. Caleb Williams. That could be a good pick. You know, with Ben Johnson running that offense now. And remember, this is round 9 coming up. There goes Tucker Kraft. Round 9 just beginning. That means that there have been 28 more picks. So this is technically more like round 11 or 12. Okay? And that's what, folks, you got to remember when you're doing this compared to a standard Yahoo. You know, this is round 11 or 12. You got to remember that as you're drafting. Things get thinner quicker. J.K. Dobbins and DJ Moore on my bench. I'm happy with that bench. And it's hard to take a rookie receiver here, too. Scary to try to take a rookie receiver like Egbuka. You know, you don't know what's going to happen with him. You just don't know. It's the final countdown. But yeah, this draft can be a little bit of a nightmare. These guys are good. We've all been playing in this. I believe it's, there goes Jake Bates, Detroit's kicker. We've all been in this league for, I think it's 20 years. You know, and after that many years, there's been a couple of people who've left. So we've had a couple of new people join. And, well, obviously that was one of the new people who mentioned that, because if you've been in this draft before, you get the hang of what to expect from some of these folks. Zach Charbonnet went, and there goes Jordan Love. Jordan Love will have an improved season. He was hurt so much last year. There goes Pittsburgh's defense. And Harrison Butker. So we're just going to do the quarterback right now, because a lot of these folks like to take that backup quarterback. And I'm going to go ahead and secure my first quarterback, who will be improved this year. Look, I'm sorry. If you don't believe in the improvement of Caleb Williams with Ben Johnson as the offensive coordinator, well, the head coach now, then you're not paying attention. All right. You know, this is going well. Kicker and defense. Who are the kickers? Oh, there's Boswell, and there's plenty of kickers. Who are the defenses? I could think of Minnesota, but I like Green Bay. Green Bay I can wait on. Minnesota. Not a bad pick. Detroit with Aiden Hutchinson coming back. Not a bad pick. There goes Buffalo after Baltimore. Chris Boswell went right there. Why are we all avoiding Calvin Ridley, fellas? General soreness. Yeah, okay. There goes a kicker, and there goes Evan Ingram. 3 more bench positions, kicker defense. 3 more bench positions, kicker defense. 3 more. Okay. I am thinking that I might take a backup quarterback, but that's because... What if I took C.J. Stroud? I mean, C.J. Stroud had a down year last year, but, you know, I don't know how that's going to look. And Trevor Lawrence went 110. There goes Matthew Stafford. Tank Bigsby. Matthew Golden. We'll look up some Romo Dunes. There went C.J. Stroud. All right, so I've been eyeballing Calvin Ridley for a minute, so we're just going to go ahead and take him. There, now I've got 4 receivers, 4 running backs, and yeah, I'm happy about that. Yeah, heck yeah. Gonna let Calvin Ridley get to me with 115. I love this. This is working out so well. All right, but the backup quarterback situation, I mean, there are fellas that I don't want. Geno Smith, I don't hate the idea of as a backup. Sam Darnold last year, man, that was a nuts year, wasn't it? I don't think he repeats those kind of numbers, not in Seattle. Geno Smith in Las Vegas, I don't know. You know, I mean... All right, well, there goes Rashid Shaheed. And I got 9 till my pick. And this is a short side. Roma Dunes. Or is that Romeo Dunes? Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? I don't know the rest of that. It's something about you deny your father and refuse your name or something like that. Travis Etienne, 118. People still hunting for the running back that's going to help him out. I don't know that I need another running back, but if I was taking one, it would be Braylon Allen. Who's left over here anyways? Braylon Allen. Oh, yeah, here we go. Krosky Merritt. Oh, there's Dylan Sampson. Okay. I could take a chance on one of these rookies, that's for sure. And who else we got? Ollie Gordon in Miami. Uh-huh. Yeah, with Jalen Wright having surgery, I agree. There goes Minnesota's defense. Impressive preseason. And Gordon should be the favorite to handle backup duty. That's all I'm saying. Oh, and here's another one. Chris Rodriguez. The two Washington guys, the Krosky Merritt, there goes Brian Robinson Jr. In case an injury happens to Christian McCaffrey, that might be the guy there. Okay, so I've got some running backs queued up. I don't think I need to queue up any more wide receivers. Although if I did, I think it would be Jaden Reed. Honestly, why wouldn't it be Jaden Reed? Anyone give me a reason it shouldn't be Jaden Reed? David Njoku going to the AI fish. So there's some running backs queued up. Krosky Merritt just went. Okay. And Ollie Gordon, though, I mean, a lot of folks are overlooking the amazing preseason he had. There goes Houston's defense. All right, so team defenses. Not really looking thin, but not looking, dude, it's not looking bad. I mean, what's wrong with Green Bay? And these kickers. You still got kickers. They still exist. They're kickers. Okay, so I need to look at my queued people. I'm going to go ahead and draft Green Bay. Micah Parsons, anybody who paid attention to that news today, just had oh man, one of those moments. Those moments. Will Lutz, Jason Sanders, Jake Elliott, Tyler Bass, Younghoe Koo. I'm going to queue up Will Lutz. There goes Ramondre Stevenson and Drake May, Braylon Allen. Kansas City. I'm going to Kansas City. Kansas City, here I come. Wait. Yeah, they filled in everything. They've only got bench left. I still got to fill in a kicker. Nico Collins, Garrett Wilson, and Devonta Smith with Jalen Waddle. James Conner, Kenneth Walker. You are hurting. You got the same bye week, fellas. Oh, dude. That's not going to help. Emeka Egbuka. Dalton Kincaid goes with the 134th pick. Who will improve at quarterback? Who has a chance for points? I don't like these predictions. These seem off. Let's see. The bye week for Geno Smith and Caleb Williams is different weeks. I could play matchups in a way on that. We got new coaches for both teams, a different system than they had a couple of years ago. Still like Jaden Reed. Only 2 more bench positions to fill in, though. 4 running backs, 4 receivers. Quinshon Judkins. Well, we'll see what happens with that. What was it, a domestic? And he could be facing suspension time. Hell, he might. I think where the charges dropped, but now the NFL is doing their own investigation. Something along those lines. It's hard to take a chance on a guy. But in a team like Cleveland, anybody could get the job. I mean, You don't want him to be your starter, but if he emerges, sure, I guess that'll work out fine. I'm still shocked at Amon-Ra St. Brown getting back to me with the third. I mean, come on, that was the third round. Rashad Bateman. You got to make good use of these picks here. Jordan Addison. Okay, you know what? Just based on the very impressive preseason and Achan's injury history, I'm going to put some draft capital into Ollie Gordon and have my 5th running back. That's where my bench position is going on that. Trey Benson. And New York Jets defense. Coming down to the wire here, fellas. This is a long draft, isn't it? This takes some time. 12 teams. But only 5 bench positions. AI Fish. This could go just about anywhere, man. This fella, I know for a fact he loves his backup running backs. So he's only got, let's see, he's got 4 running backs right now. I could see him taking a 5th running back. I don't know that, I don't know what he would take. I don't know. He's got Kyler Murray as his backup quarterback with Lamar Jackson. Are you benching Lamar Jackson? Is that the plan? Jaden Reed. See, I like that. I like it. That's a fine. He's got Judy and Jaden Reed as his backup wide receivers. I like it. Jaden Reed had a fine year last year. Jerry Jeudy had a fine year last year. And for receivers in this league, those are about normal. I mean, you got your superstars. And he has Charbonnet, as a backup running back to go with Trevion Henderson, Kyron Williams, and Devin Achan. So, I mean, he's got a good team, fellas. He's got a good team. Do all these fellas have their kicker already? The AI Fish does not. Take Me to a Title does not. Mermaiden does. Bass Holes. Okay, so a bunch of them have theirs. I'll go Sam Darnold, 144th. Sam Darnold, so hard to repeat what he did last year. It's going to be impossible, I think. But what an amazing season. I don't think any of us expected that. If you expected that, chime in somewhere here. Write it down. Put it in writing. I expected it. Justin Fields as a Jets quarterback. Ugh. Oh, man. Where was he playing last year? Pittsburgh, if I remember right. How does Justin Fields put it all together? Rushing ability remained a strength. 10 touchdowns total in 6 games. But he got benched in favor of Russell Wilson. Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of strength at receiver, But he's got Breece Hall and Braylon Allen running the ball. And new offensive coordinator. Used to be Detroit's passing coordinator. And he's not. Tyrod Taylor. All right, so I'm sorry, I missed some here. Jaden Reed, then, okay, we lost the Rams defense, got taken. I don't know that any of these fellas would want Justin Fields as a backup quarterback. I mean, it's a backup. These are guys that you're hoping will do something better. And you just, I guess you're crossing your fingers, fellas. You're just kind of hoping for the best. You know, we're in the last 2 rounds here. These guys that you pick here, they're not going to make or break your team unless you take a chance on someone who is going to do a great thing. What is that going to be? That's Sam Darnold last year. You know, there's some players that if you took them at the end of the draft last year, you know, you were like, holy cow, how did this occur? Brock Bowers, for example. You know, there's just some fellas at the end of the draft last year that you went, huh, who was that? And why didn't I see that coming? Well, nobody sees it coming. Najee Harris. It's not bad. I mean, J.J. McCarthy is a backup quarterback. Or is that a third quarterback? Ray Davis, Rashad White, and I'm just going to go ahead and take my kicker. We'll just get the Denver kicker. I think Denver's going to put up good points this year. And then my final pick, I guess that's going to end up being a backup quarterback. So we'll just bring this over to quarterbacks. Then we'll take a look. You know, I've got on my radar goes Hunter Henry, are Justin Fields, Geno Smith, and Jackson Dart. You know, I mean, why doesn't he end up with that job? It's just, it's a tough one, you know. What does he do? How much can he give to a team? I don't know. Oh, he's already getting his bell rung in the preseason. I don't know. Oh, there went Dylan Sampson, so I don't know. I don't know here, fellas. Who's going to be the New Orleans quarterback? There's a good question. That's a fine question. Okay, so Spencer Rattler is going to be the starter. That could be someone who might surprise. 5th round pick. Spencer Rattler. He'll need to improve, of course. Either way, on a quarterback battle comes down to these two fellas. And yeah, they're going to tank for Archie. So, I mean, there goes Christian Kirk. Kirk Cousins? I don't know when he's getting back on the field. I don't know if he will get back on the field. But yeah, backup Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod freaking Taylor is down here. Justin Fields. You know what? There goes Nick Chubb. If Justin Fields gets back to me, I'm going to make him my backup quarterback. Deal. There goes Kareem Hunt, 161st. If Justin Fields gets back to me, that's my backup quarterback. That's the deal I'm making with you guys. There goes Joe Mixon, and I'll take Justin Fields. Boom. There we go. My backup quarterback is a guy that, I don't know, he could surprise us all. So let's see what we got here. Another text. Oh, from the commissioner. He said he's responded to this other fella about the nightmare of a draft and how good everybody is. Good and good luck, y'all. And then he said it's a competitive league. Another awesome draft. And so I'm just going to respond and say, can't wait for the season to start. Because, look, fellas, I just had a great draft. Oh, and we're getting, now it's a whole text chain. Everybody in the league is in it. Okay, this is the guy who said, because we were joking around earlier, and he said, okay, whoever mentioned drafting all rookies, I came pretty darn close. Oh, boy. And yeah, you did, my friend. You came awfully close. Did? Well, look at my team. I got Caleb Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Cortland Sutton. Jahmyr Gibbs, Josh Jacobs, George Kittle, Alvin Kamara. DJ Moore, J.K. Dobbins, Calvin Ridley, Ollie Gordon, and Justin Fields to back up, and then kicker and defense. There we have it, folks. Let's go ahead and take a look at the league and see if they've got draft grades available. They do not have draft grades available. Oh, wait, this is this is still last year's. Okay. Let's go over here. We'll go to league. There, now we're here. This is this year. There we go. But we don't have draft grades available. I don't know. I think there's a lot of very good drafts that happened here. It's a very balanced league. I think that there's going to be some folks that are very happy. There'll be some folks that are unhappy. But overall, I had a good time. I'm glad to do it again with these fellas and then ladies. And, well, that's another one in the books, fellas. That's my last draft for the season, my home league. I hope you get your own home league going. I hope you enjoy it. And thanks for tuning in, fellas. All right, fellas, I got an update. We got the draft grades, and let's go ahead and have a look. We got two people that had an A+ grade. AI Fish got a B+, and but they went ahead and gave me an A+ grade. Apparently, the AI that writes these, there is no person who's analyzing this. This is an AI analysis. But they think that I will finish 13-1. The other A+, 11-3, and so it goes on and on and on. There's some teams. I mean, I don't fully trust these rankings for this. I've never really trusted these grades. I got a friend who's in this league who actually, he feels like he thrives. His best teams happen when he gets a C grade, not if he gets an A grade. And that makes sense because I don't know what they're using to grade these, what criteria they're using, but sometimes an A grade, it's just an AI going, ooh, that's what everybody thinks you should have done. But, dude, that's not how fantasy football works. So no matter what grade they give you, I know I like to look at them because it's entertaining. But, come on, man. Just go draft your team. Don't worry about what this AI thinks of your grade. All right, fellas, thanks for tuning in.